Yo, I'm Drunky.
I'm the Flood.
And welcome to the Fortnite update, where we talk about all the news, patch notes, and esports related to Fortnite. Today is February 21st. This is episode 26 of the podcast. Let's start the update. All right, Flood, so we've been on a bit of a unannounced hiatus. Between you and me, we both kind of had things pop up, and, you know, Valentine's Day was here. I hated Fortnite. It's just, like, we were back and forth on some things, and we missed an update. So to our audience, apologies. You know,
it's the first one we've missed.
First one we missed.
And in half a year. That's not bad.
It's not bad.
Right?
It's not bad. You know, everyone deserves a little personal time, you know, a little mental health break.
Again, like I was gonna claim Valentine's Day. You went right on the nose about your feelings. So,
yeah. Look, I like to be honest. I like to put it out there. Fortnite was in a bad state. It put a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't want to play it.
Alternatives arose.
Alternatives arose. So I was just kind of off the Fortnite grind.
Tetris BR. Let's go.
Let's go VR. Tetris, baby. But the reason we're back recording this podcast is because there were two patches since the last time we recorded, the patch 7.4 and the 7.4 content update, and it has brought us back into Fortnite, man.
Oh, baby. I've been like, I can't believe the week that we missed to update, because I was like, everything has changed. Everything has changed. It's flip-flop. The whole world. The cats are chasing dogs. Everything's amazing. I'm so excited to talk.
Yeah. All right. So let's dive into it. Let's start with the content update's a little bit small, so we're just going to fold it into the 7.4 patch update. But let's start with the weapon and item changes to patch 7.4.
Oh, baby.
The infantry rifle has been added to the game. It is available in common, uncommon, and rare variants. It deals 41, 43, 45 damage, ×2 headshot multiplier, can be found on floor loot, chests, and vending machines. Using medium ammos, it fires quick-moving projectiles without any damage fall off. What do you think about the infantry rifle, Flood?
It's absolute poop.
It's absolute poop?
Absolute poop. Get it out of my game.
Yeah, this
I just want it out.
Like,
it's so dumb. I don't know why it's so dumb. At first, I tried to give it a chance. The first couple times I used it, I was dinking a few shots. Like, boo! I was like, all right, this is all right. This got a little arc to it. Feels like the hunting rifle a little bit, but sort of like not the hunting rifle. But I'm always out of ammo because I have to reload after like 5 shots or something. Yeah. I can't spam anything, and I can't really do anything with it. And it's still like a 45 body shot or whatever. What is it doing in the goddamn game? Get it out of here. It's stupid.
Yeah, I don't understand this one. I think conceptually, I kind of dig it. I agree with it. I like projectile move. Like, this is kind of like a revolver type of weapon. If you think of it like a revolver, I think it kind of fits that profile that the revolver used to. Projectile, there's no damage fall off. The problem with this gun is that it's a worse version of the AK.
Yeah, the AK exists and the SCAR exists. I'm going to take those every time. I'm going to take the SCAR every time over this. I'm going to take the AK every time over this. What is this going to do for me? When do I use this?
Like, the problem with this game is that we have hit scan ARs. You cannot do a projectile AR that only does 45 damage. If they want this gun to work, it has to be like 60 body shots if this is going to be worth being in your inventory or something. Like, they got to buff the damage for a projectile-based weapon. I
agree. And is this because they took out the burst and they want to have some more bad guns in the game? They're just like, we need more bad guns in the game. Let's get more bad guns in. We're running out of bad guns. Let's put more bad guns in. Like, what are you doing?
I don't know. Like, I've seen it all over YouTube and stuff, and like all the other streamers and content creators were like celebrating the vaulting of the birth. They're like, we're not going to have bad early game weapons. And then they put this thing in. I see more M1s on the ground when I'm landing than I can even imagine, bro. It's like super frustrating to land in. Like, what? I give me a common pistol over this. The pistol's better than this.
Oh, dude, I love the pistol. I'll take the pistol. Gray pistol. Yeah. I have espoused with the gray pistol since forever. Everyone's like, oh no, gray pistols. But get out of my face. I'll take that over everything. Like a first thing. It's so good. I mean, I don't know how many times I've hit the 4 shots and like, where's that 5th shot? And they get me. But I'm like, oh, so close.
And not for nothing. Exciting. I would take the burst over this infantry rifle. I would take the burst over this. Like, the burst wasn't the greatest weapon. I used to frag with it early game. This, I'm like, boo. Yeah, no.
You land that one burst. Oh, when it was like body, head. Oh, so good. And so good.
And the burst was like kind of a follow-up to like the pump shotgun. If you couldn't find an SMG early game, you follow up with this guy.
It was just interesting. It kind of made some sense. It was great. This is like a weird filled chest item. And also, how many times have you gone and seen a blue, and you're like, oh, hunting rifle, blue hunting rifle, yeah. And then you're like, oh, God
Yeah,
damn
very
it.
like
They tricked me.
the silhouette of the items are very similar, which is odd for Epic Games. Usually does such a good job at making everything very
Agreed.
different, you know?
That's why I'm like so confused about this item. It just seems like they wanted another bad gun in the game because there was not enough for their loot table or something.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll stuff it. I don't know. It's so weird. Anyway, get it out. Fault it.
Yeah, the did not come out of the blocks good. If they definitely have to buff this item, it's going to be worth staying in the game. All right, improvements to the bush consumable. The bush now absorbs 1 instance of weapon damage before being removed from the owner. Fall damage will not remove the bush. And most importantly, the bush is now translucent for the bush wearer in order to allow better visibility of your surroundings. Huge buff for the bush.
Isn't it time? Let's make the bush great again.
Yeah,
let's make bush great again.
All right, Flood, taking it back to the 1970s. This is a big update for the bush that I actually really enjoy. The first time I seen it happen, I was shocked that I did no damage with my shotgun to somebody. It like freaked me out, and I was like, "Oh wait, this is actually a good item." The bush is somewhat meta now.
It's kind of interesting. Like it kind of works now in a weird way, and that's exciting. Like the bush is one of those things where everyone's like, "Well, how come they haven't vaulted the bush yet? It's so dumb." I'm like, "No, you can never vault the bush, though, because the bush is integral to Fortnite. Fortnite is very defined by that bush. Like that bush is integral. That's meta. Not meta. That's folklore. Like that's part of the.
This is the mythos. Like the bush is like as important as Fortnite's logo to Fortnite. Like it's iconic, man.
Yes, it's the llama and the bush. That's what that is Fortnite right there. So,
all right, let's talk about the hand cannon because the hand cannon took a nerf. Epic rarity environmental damage has been reduced by 50 damage. Legend reduced by, I'm gonna call that 52 because I'm American and I don't do good math. Big nerfs to the hand cannon.
That was great math, by the way.
Thank you, I did it.
Canadian public schools commend you.
What do you think about the hand cannon finally being nerfed?
This seems like a good thing. It seemed a bit too strong, probably especially for the pro scene where those guys are absolute laser beams all the time. It was really strong. It was really strong. I don't know. I wasn't even like the hand cannons shined during a period where I was not playing as much, so I barely used it. But like. It did seem really, really good.
It was one of the most broken items. I remember when they buffed it, I was like, on the day they buffed, I was like, I don't understand how this is happening. This is like ridiculously overpowered. It took them a while to nerf this. And I think it took them having clingers removed to realize, or not clingers, I'm sorry, grappling hooks to realize how overpowered this was, because then everyone started carrying around more rocket launchers we're about to get into. But the rocket launcher deagle combo was one of the most broken things of the game. You could just bust down a fully built wooden wall, like right before your rocket hits. You know, you could one shot any freshly built item, which I think you can still do it on brick, but not metal. But even on wood, you can't shoot down a fully built wood wall anymore. I don't believe.
Oh, Jesus. You know what was wrong with me?
Huh?
I was thinking about the wrong gun.
What gun were you thinking about?
I was thinking about that revolver.
Come on, Flood.
The scoped
That's a scoped revolver. This is a hand
in
cannon.
My head. I'm ridiculous.
The hand
cannon that used lots of.
I'm sorry,
lots
the deagle.
Of hand cannon.
The deagle.
The deagle. That's what it is in my head. It's
the
deagle.
Well, what do you think about the deagle getting nerfed?
Like, well, that's necessary because I used it all the time because you had to because it was the meta.
Yeah.
Never mind rocket launcher. It go deagle pump. Obvious. Like it was so instantaneous, and it did the thing that everyone loves to do with the heavy sniper, where you can heavy snipe a wall and then do something. Except it was better and faster and amazing, and you could knock down builds left and right. It was god tier. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it really was.
I don't know how I thought of the wrong gun there. That was weird.
I don't know either. This is embarrassing. You're a professional Fortnite podcaster. I need you to get on your game, Blood. All right.
Yikes! More coffee.
All right. Speaking of more nerfs, let's talk about the rocket launcher. Rocket launchers have shifted availability out of chest into supply drops. They remove the rocket launcher from the chest, and they increase the chance of receiving a rocket launcher from supply drops by 25%. So it went from 25 to 50%. They also increased the reload speed. So now it takes increasingly longer to reload the rocket launcher. A big nerf to the rocket launcher that I think we were sitting on a broken item for a long time. It's just no one was running rocket launchers as much.
Yeah, I mean, rocket launchers was really, really good. There was this weird little window where rocket launchers were constant for a minute, because again, I think it had to do with some of the building changes and some of the other meta changes that have happened in the last few weeks. All of a sudden, rocket launchers were prevalent, and everyone was rocket spamming near the end game. Again, Deagle rocket launcher, Deagle pump, etc. It was just too strong, and there were so many of them. And then they reduced the ammo a little bit again, which is helpful, but we're meant back to like season 1 rocket spam. If you can go back that far in your brain, it was hilarious back in the day, like just constant, like what was it, like 16 rockets or 12 rockets or something silly. It was
used
ridiculous.
To have like 36 rockets back in the day, like 36 rockets. Like I don't think they had I think they had a cap to like 100. Man, it was nuts.
And the reload speed was nothing. It was just, it was ridiculous. So it started to like harken back to that, and it was just too goddamn much. I think this is good. You start thinking about a BR where like your core weapon base, your core overall meta of guns should be what everyone essentially ends up getting if they survive the early game. There's a mid-game tier where everyone kind of has some level of gun that makes sense, and the rocket launcher shouldn't be in there. The rocket launcher should be kind of a weird supply drop. Oh god, there's a rocket launcher. Oh, there's a guy with one. You know what I mean? That's exciting and interesting because one guy happens to have it out of like per 10 or 20 or whatever it is. Now, are you like, oh, is it so overpowered that one guy now gets to win automatically? No, it can't be that powerful, but it could be like a little exciting, a couple free kills for him, maybe. I don't know, but this is good.
This is absolutely good. Them removing it from chests and only having it available in supply drops is something I've been talking about for a long time. I'm glad that this idea kind of like, made its way through the community, not for me, obviously, but just that Epic had the same thought process that early game, you should not be able to pull a rocket launcher out of random chests because you drop on a chest before someone else, grab a rocket launcher. Now you can just frag out your POI because of this item. Like, I love that that's gone. It's made early game POIs a lot more enjoyable because you do not get rocket launchers into the game until like 7-8 minutes into the game. Then you start seeing rocket launchers. It's a great change.
And then by then people have some build. They're a little bit more prepared for it. Everything, it's just better. And there's less of them that way. Like, it's just better.
All right, let's go to the vault because we have some guns being unvaulted and some being vaulted.
Yeah.
First, let's talk about the grenades being vaulted. This is kind of a weird one for me. I'm a BR player since Arma. I played BRs all the time. And it's weird to me that I'm playing a BR that does not have a frag grenade in it at this point. It's very weird to me.
It's such a standard item since not even just BRs, but like FPSs since how long? I don't know. Forever.
Yeah. So that's a weird one to be vaulted. And the reason it got vaulted is because one of the funnest items has been unvaulted. The clingers are now back into the game. Welcome back, everybody. Man, it's weird to be sitting here and like, one podcast host is like, man, the Porta Fortress is overpowered. Another is like, no, it's the clingers. And now only one of those is out of the game. How the tables have turned. Flood.
I'm glad that you're having your day with your plunger. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. The first day that I started playing this, I hadn't read any of these notes when I first started playing this, and I got a clinger, and it didn't even register that it was back. Like, I just started using them, and I don't know what happened, and maybe it's in my brain, but I feel like they feel better than they used to. Something about the throwing mechanic, something feels better. Like, it doesn't feel as annoying. Like, I used to have an issue my biggest issue with the clingers was always when I was throwing them and I tried to change to another gun, I would press the button, try to shoot, and I'd throw another clinger. And I got so frustrated by that because it threw clingers in really awkward or horrible situations because of that weird mistiming. They always felt broken to me, and the hitboxes are weird and stuff. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's in my head. Maybe something's changed. Maybe my server connection is just slightly better. I don't know what's going on, but like, they feel a little better this time.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I think the servers have gotten better. I think that humble pie just tastes good, Flood. I just think it tastes good. That's all.
Bring back the Porta Fortress.
All right, let's talk about an item, a beloved item in my kit that has finally made its way back into Fortnite. Cupid's crossbow is back for a limited time. This is not the crossbow most new players know from the Fortnite mirrors and the Ice Legion event. This is the old school crossbow from, back at last February. This item is just amazing. Body shot damage 79, 197 headshot damage. What do you think about Cupid's crossbow finally making its way back?
You know what, man? The original crossbow was so much fun,
yes.
And that it was like, I understood why they vaulted it, because no one wanted that as their first item in the game. If they open a chest and they got that, they're like, oh crap, and they're all losing their mind, because as soon as you find a better sniper, you always replace it. I get it. But like, honestly, it was a lot of fun. Those like silent shots where you like, "Boo," dink in the head and they're done. You're like, yes. Like there's nothing more satisfying than a silent headshot that kills a person. It was so funny and so satisfying.
Look,
and even close range, if you happen to, oh God, it's
I want
so
you to speak
funny.
for yourself here, Flood, because I, for one, do not replace any sniper rifle with the Cupid's crossbow. I rock this thing from the beginning of the game until the end of the game and win with it. I love the crossbow. I love how silent it is. Getting that kiss on someone's head is just, like you said, satisfying.
It feels
satisfying. Good. And while I'm playing, I have people in my chat being like, hey man, there's a heavy sniper. And I swear to God, like 20 seconds later, as I was like, I don't need a heavy sniper. Watch this. Boop. Knock someone in the head for 197 damage. And you just get to see him spin around like, what the hell? Where'd that come from, bro?
We're not all young gods, so I'm still picking up those heavy snipes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I get it. And, you know, it's a fun item. I'm glad it's back. I'm glad it's back in a real way, not the Fortnite mirrors abomination. And
I always thought that this is like the highest skill ceiling sniper in the game. I never understood why they took it away.
Ballistics, you got to calculate, hit that headshot to make it really satisfying and worth it. Yeah, no, I agree.
All right, let's talk about a few more items added to the game and some changes. The drift board has been added to Fortnite. Finally, this was announced 2 months ago, and then they said there were some quality of life issues. Finally, this limited time item, the drift board, has made its way into the map. How do you feel about the drift board?
All right, so quality of life changes mean that it probably used to smash down build.
Yep,
that's probably what that means. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they've revisited some of those thoughts lately.
Definitely, because there's a boost on it, and like everything that has a boost smashes builds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so the drift board. I love the drift board. I love the drift board more than I can even express. And I don't know if it's just because it's new and it's got that shine on it and I'm going to be real sick of it in a minute. But right now, I effing love the drift board. Okay. So here's my new idea for Fortnite right now. Okay, so the drift board is amazing. You can boost, as you say, you go fast. It actually like remarkably fast. It doesn't feel like it feels pretty fast, but when you watch someone take off on it, you're like, holy, how am I supposed to track that? It's pretty quick. It's also alarmingly fun. Like if you get a good jump and you can spin yourself around, it's a little bit hard to control at first because I have my inverted controls for my planes and stuff. And it's a little bit wacky. So a little bit hard to control because I'm used to like I'll try to like track someone, but I realize my mouse is also dragging my movement as is my WASD, so it's a little bit weird.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so here's my thing to fix Fortnite, all of Fortnite.
Here we go.
I want drift boards to A, be permanent.
Okay.
B, I want everyone to have one all the time. I want it to be like a pickaxe. I want you to be able to pull out a drift board at all times at any point in the game, and everyone has it. That gets rid of all RNG movement issues. You can get rid of planes. You can get rid of redeploy. You can get rid of all of that. Everyone just has a fast move option all the time. No more RNG. Everyone's got it. I'm never going to die to the goddamn zone again. Because that's one thing I'm going to say about back and forth, and I'm having a lot of fun. But if I get bad zone RNG, it's so punishing in this game. Like it's so frustratingly punishing. And now that they've really reduced spawn rates on planes and various other quad crashers and stuff, I'm having games where I'm having to run, can't find it, can't outrun the zone, nothing I can do just because I got a little bit of bad luck.
Yeah.
Nothing drives me crazier than that, especially when I really like caught up in a lot of good fights. So the zone kind of caught up to me because I was busy fighting a lot. And I know that that's part of the game.
Sure.
But give me a goddamn drift board all the time. I think that solves everything in Fortnite and makes it extremely fun all the time. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on this, but that's the moment I tried a drift board, I was like, I want this all the time. And I think everyone should have it all the time.
Yes, I agree with you. I don't know if you ever played Realm Royale, but Realm Royale had a horse mechanic that you could basically what you're talking about now, where you could just like summon a horse and you ride your horse. It's just something that's bound to your character. It's just like a free. It works.
Yes,
it works and it makes it fun. I think you're 100% right about that. I would love all vehicles to be removed and the drift board to be the movement item.
Yes,
and if not this, just at the very least remove Quad Crasher, because I think this is a way better version of the Quad Crasher. It's fast moving, doesn't destroy builds. You can't do like weird things where you fly halfway across the map because of it.
And we might need to tweak it a little. Maybe some of the speeds need to be tweaked a little if we go this route. But oh my god, this would be a better Fortnite in my head. Like I hate that the zone is what it is in this game. It's such a punishing, frustrating zone in this game compared to, for example, others where the zone does what it's supposed to do and just corrals you.
Yeah.
This does not just corral you, this punishes you. I'm fighting the zone more than I'm fighting other players 100%. Half the time.
And this isn't how Fortnite used to be, and I think we're in a revolving cycle with the zone right now where it's like, well, the zone's really far, so we're going to add these like vehicles so people can get to the zone. well, people can get to the zone now. We're going to make the zones go further out to the edge, because it used to be that the zones would end up kind of like in the middle or like 2/3 out from the middle. Now everything's landing on the edge of the map, which I think has to do
2/3 is in the water, you know.
Yeah, and I think that actually has more to do with the competitive scene that's like trickling down to us in the pub scene. But I agree that the zones are too punishing in this game, so it's either make the driftboard more common, part of the inventory, or we just kind of reset the zones back to where they used to be when the game started, when it used to be amazing. Because like you said, the zone should corral. You should be punished for being in the zone with a lot of damage, but you shouldn't be having to run to zone your entire game. It's exhausting.
You should always be able to outrun the zone too.
Yeah.
Always. You should always be able to outrun it. You know what I mean? Like there should always be a point where you're like, yeah, no, I got a little, oh crap. Okay, well at least I can outrun it. Like you should always move this much faster than the zone. Yeah. That's it. Absolutely. Just so you can always get ahead of it.
Absolutely. All right.
Oh man, but driftboard's so much fun, right?
100%, bro. Just being able to I don't know if you guys have ever longboarded in your life. I'm from, the tropical South in Florida.
Snowboarding?
Just you're a snowboarder. I just, longboarding and just tail fishing carving. Back and forth.
Yes.
Oh my God, man. I just love it. I could do it all day long. It makes rotating just fun. It's like a mini game.
Oh, dude. And you get the little tricks. It's such a blast, man.
Yeah.
It's such a good item.
It's definitely a little bit clunky to learn at first. Doing backflips and stopping, stops. I don't think pressing back should stop all your forward momentum. So when you're doing tricks, once you learn it, it's fine.
I want them to get rid of all the other vehicles and put any vehicle dev teams on playing some Tony Hawk's Pro Skater or some SSX Tricky or some 1080 snowboarding.
Yeah.
The old school. And I want them to implement any of those feelings into this and make it permanent. And this will be the most fun game that you've ever played in your goddamn life.
The first time we rode a hoverboard on a wall though, when I found out that thing can ride a wall, I was like, oh, okay. Oh, I get it now.
So goddamn much. I always think of Back to the Future too. Anytime you're going over water, but you don't have power. I wanted
chicken.
I love it,
dude.
So much.
The amount of McFlies I've yelled while I was riding on that, it's just.
Oh, seriously? Oh, yes. I haven't even seen you do that.
McFly.
It's so automatic, right?
It really is.
You don't have power. Oh my God, I love it.
All right, last thing in the item and weapon changes from the content update: reduce availability of balloons on the floor, gliders on the floor, and dual pistols on the floor. This might be why we're seeing a lot of M1s right now. I'm not sure, but I do like that all these 3 items aren't covering the floor loot. More of that, man. I don't use balloons a lot. I don't use gliders a lot. I'm tired of seeing them.
Mm-hmm. And maybe this is why I've been getting caught by the zone.
Might be. You never know.
Honestly, I don't know. I do think balloons are insanely powerful right now. I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling really good about them in my pubs. I'm laughing with them. It's just a joke. Lately, one of the biggest things that I did when I had that chiller challenge, I started but I kept it going after that, because what I did is, or boogie bomb, whatever, but I don't use boogie bombs. I don't mess with that. But I'd get balloons and chillers in my inventory. I'd balloon up on people, chiller them, they'd go flying, because you can always get an angle on them when you're on the balloon. And then I would laser beam them with an SMG. It was the weirdest meta, but I was having so much fun.
It's good.
Just chillering people around while I'm ballooning and just bounding around. They have no idea what to do. It was the best.
It really is.
If they were smart, they would just crouch together, first shot accuracy while sliding, and balloon me out of the air. What are you doing? But, it's a pub. I had fun.
Please, this is Fortnite. No one has high school degrees yet. You know what I mean? All right, let's talk about gameplay. We were done with the weapon items changes. That was quite a bit. Let's talk into Fortnite actually changing their entire game, basically. The pop-up cup settings have been added to the default playlist. This includes the 50 health or shield on elimination, the 50-50-50 material drops on elimination, the 500 material caps in each type of material. The harvest rate increased by 40%. Huge changes adding these pop-up cups. We all know the pop-up cup. How do you feel about pop-up cup being added to the default playlist?
I forgot that we hadn't talked about this because we missed last week. This was the number one thing everyone has. If you go to Reddit or anywhere or Twitter or listen to any of the chaps, anyone. I said any of the chaps.
Any of the chaps, baby.
I'm thinking of Liquid Chap a lot, I guess. I dream about him sometimes.
We know where your heart is.
Anyway. But if you listen to like any of the tweets, any of the pros, any of the people, like we've been dying for this since the pop-up came out.
Yeah.
It just makes the game better. I would always get so upset that I missed a pop-up cup. I was like, oh no, I only caught the last hour of it or something, because that was the Fortnite that I liked playing. The moment I had to go back to regular solos, I was so bummed out every time, because it's not as much fun. You get so punished. I win a fight and I'm sitting at 3 health, and now I've got to run through a POI to find health with 3. Like, get out of my face. It's impossible. It's so, well, I mean, it's not impossible. It's just so frustrating, and it's unrewarding to get those kills. And when you're just pubbing around, what's rewarding is getting fun kills. Like, that's what the fun of the game is. Winning is great. Don't get me wrong. I want to win, but like, you want to get some fun kills on the way. That's the whole thing that you do. I don't know. It was just this makes it so much better. The game pacing feels faster. Anything you can do to reduce the amount of time I spend swinging a goddamn pickaxe. I'm not a miner. Get on my face. Put me out there. Like, I want to do stuff. And the way that I get mats on drop, I get health on drop. The game is more fun. It's paced better. The material increase is better. Everything about it is better. And I even like the mat cap. The 500 mat cap is actually a lot of fun. It puts you in situations where, oh my god, I'm really low on mats, but I'm running into the circle, but I got to farm a tiny bit, but at least to get that increased farm rate. And now I've got just enough to build. And if I get that kill, then I'll get the mats and I can keep the next guy. Like, it's fun.
It is fun. It's everything you said and like more. The problem that Fortnite had run into me is that we got spoiled with the pop-up cup settings. I never remember being that bored in Fortnite until I played the pop-up cup, and I was like, oh, this game can feel like this. And then I would go back to the regular matches, and it's like, you know, everything was taken away from you. It was slow. I didn't realize how slow Fortnite actually was until the pop-up cup settings were introduced.
Exactly.
So now that we have these pop-up cup settings, pubs are just they're pubs again. They're fun to play in. One of the big things I'm noticing, a lot of people are not turtling as much as they used to. I used to have to play against turtles all day long, and I'm just not like, people want to build fight now because losing a game just doesn't feel punishing anymore. It's like, all right, I'll get in the next one. Everything I just worked for is not gone because we're not working that hard to get mats. When you had to sit there and farm for like 1,500 mats, or you're just going to lose the game in game, felt so boring. And now it's just not. Like, you get 1 kill on drop, you got your mats, you know, you do a little bit of extra farming with this farming increase, and like, you're just, nothing feels overwhelmingly punishing. So no one's really taking pubs as seriously and playing their hearts out because they don't feel like they're wasting time.
And a build fight, like you just described, is like, it's rewarding. You get mats out of that. Like, that's it. So it's important to win it. You want to win the fight to get the stuff so that you can continue to move forward. Not you want to win the fight so that you can then hide away and find some bandages and hit a wall. Like, get out of my face. Like, that's so boring.
Yeah.
I don't. And you're exactly right. It's the comparison. Once we had pop-up, how do you live without pop-up?
Dude, and these build fights are so fun right now, man. Like, I've been yearning for just build fights like it was back in the day. This turtle meta was killing the game for me, dude. It was just killing every engagement. I didn't want to do it. It's no fun. But now that people like are actually trying to fight and like fight you, like, it is just I love every like, and
we're getting the high ground as opposed to the turtle. Yeah, it's so much fun. And
everyone,
you know what?
Mats,
actually, that comes back
health.
to.
I love it, man.
Comes back to one of the other changes that we got, actually, which I don't know if you're about to come up with it, but turbo build changes.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the turbo building because it's a short one. This is probably the biggest change for me in quality of life, because this is one I don't think a lot of people knew about, and I don't think they realized how much it was affecting their gameplay. Turbo building has its initial timer reduced from 0.15 to 0.05. This is a massive buff to turbo building.
Oh yeah. This is nuts. I've definitely noticed it in terms of breaking into a 1x1 with like an SMG. It's harder now. It's way harder. But you really got to be on your like edit build game, which actually I'm going to admit, like, I struggle if I'm against the symphony type people, those types of players. Like, I struggle against that. Like, I can fight like that a little, but I got a higher ping. I'm an old man. I don't know what it is, but I struggle against that. So I got to play a different game. But I got to play a different way, rather.
Sure.
But it's definitely, it's crazy. Actually, you notice the turbo build so much that I actually like misbuild stuff because I'll throw like extra builds places because I'm not used to it yet, because it's so fast. Like, it feels so much more responsive, so much quicker. If I'm falling, I can really quickly put a floor beneath me before I even fall through that floor. Like, it's wacky fast, but it feels good, feels smoother, feels crisper somehow. I don't know. I'm into it.
One of the big things that we love Fortnite for is being able to build structures that aren't there to defend yourself, to be offensive with. One of this thing this was doing is taking a shot hitting someone with a pump shot and then not being able to build when they looked around at you, like sometimes will get you just killed, especially with these like one pump changes that they put into the game. So being able to like, I am blocking so many more shots because I'm anticipating their shot coming, and I'm actually able to get that wall placed before the shot goes off, which before just wasn't the case. And it was just super frustrating because I got, I went down deep into this topic like 2 months ago. People were trying to like game the system and kind of have like quick fixes around this with like different like keybinds and stuff. And so some people were able to do it. And I think the people who had better ping weren't affected by this as much. It was just a weird thing. I'm glad it's gone. Like turbo building feels super smooth right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's why build fights got better too, because people aren't afraid of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? It's fun because you've got this extra build ability at the same time as we've got the mat cap limited. So it's kind of a weird balance of I like to build and I want to build, and it's really easy to build a lot, but I'm also going to run out of my shit real fast unless I kill that guy and get some build. So I think that makes it fun. I don't know. And like I talked about the idea of like, what if we just got rid of turbo build? Like I think you and I discussed this. Like what if would that fix the game? So I get that Epic has a really delicate balance here between like no turbo build versus like super turbo build, but there's got to be like building is integral to the game. We all know that. That's what makes Fortnite fun and interesting. How do you keep that from being overpowered and fun and interesting, like, and still useful? Like it's such a weird balance that they've got to dance, and I understand that. But I think this is good right now.
It is, and this is one of those weird things that like if you played Fortnite in season 1 and before season 1, and I'm someone who's it's hard to change my habits, right? And so I knew what I could do without turbo building. I could get a wall placed before someone shot me without turbo building. But now that turbo building was on and we had this delay, you couldn't do that anymore. So it's like all this little stuff that like were baked into my head. Like, why isn't this happening the way it used to? Like, why can't I do this but I used to do it? And so all these like gameplay mechanics I used to be able to pull off, I can't do it anymore. And now they're making these tiny little changes that take you back. Like, oh yeah, you can do that again. And it's just, it's nice, man. It's smooth. I love it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Right. I agree.
Big nerf to the X4 Stormwing. This prop plane can no longer destroy builds. You run into a build, your Stormwing is stopping.
Book.
Welcome to the way Fortnite should have been played for the last 5 months or whatever it is, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Just beautiful. Yeah. Thank you.
Still hate the Stormwing. But this makes it a little bit more, I'm not as afraid. I still hate the gun on top of it, but now I'm just like, meh.
Okay, so I'm still seeing them being used kind of the same way because you just have to gun your way through the build as quick as you can from as far as you can because you got to get enough of those shots to hit. But it does burn out. If they even nerf the gun even a little bit more, I don't even mind the Stormwing right now, honestly. Like, because right now it's saving me from the goddamn zone.
Right.
Every now and again, I'm like, oh, I'll go there. Oh, there's a Stormwing. Oh, thank God. So like. And it's kind of fun to like fly up and then jump off if I need to or whatever. So like I'm using it for that way more. And I have charged a few people here and there. It's still annoying for that, but it's not happening to me nearly as often. Sure. And
people just aren't going for them as much now. Like they're not as overpowered, so people just aren't using them as much.
They're not as OP. There's not as many of them, etc. And honestly, I feel like lately when I'm playing, and I hate saying this, but I don't even. They're in a good place for me right now, and I hate saying that because like I still think do the driftboard thing and get rid of all vehicles, but where they're at right now, if this is the game, I'm okay with this game.
I agree. Next up, speaking of final or running from the storm. Final circles have been adjusted. They have increased the travel distance by 48%, and the shrink time has been increased from 45 to 75 seconds. To be honest with you, the travel distance by 48%, I don't even know what that means anymore.
I think that means that we've got further out zones. Like the zone is further away than it used to be, but it shrinks slower.
But what is it even like? I don't know what 48% means. Like I have this idea of what final circles used to be and what that meant. And now they've changed so many things. I'm like, what is it? What 48% of like what distance?
You're about to run a half marathon. It would be like a 3/4 marathon.
Look, we're walking the half marathon. Running is a pipe dream. All right, changes to zip lines. Zip lines now have interact to engage, so they have interact key. Zip lines also grant fall damage immunity, and the zip lines have an audio, visual, and icon, which is for the visually impaired or hearing impaired. Hearing impaired is that. Have you ever seen that in the game?
I didn't notice that, yeah.
The audio for people who can't hear or are deaf, they can play this game. There's like audio indicators. Have you ever seen that? Oh, yeah, it's crazy. Like,
that's interesting.
They can see like where chests are on like a 3D dial on the screen.
Can I turn that on?
Yeah, but then it turns off your sound. If you engage it turns off your sound.
Yeah, I guess if you could have both, that might be OP.
Yeah, but it's crazy.
That's interesting.
So that's nice. That's a nice one.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah, so engage on ziplines. Like, since day one, pretty much everyone said that, I think.
Yeah.
I was trying to, like, stay optimistic and be like, but it's kind of a fun mechanic. Because I get to jump when my head attaches.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun. But, like, yeah, no, this is just better. This is just better. I think the jump or the fall immunity, when you get, like, you get the bouncer effect when you're jumping off them, and you even see the little wiggle on you. Oh, man, I miss those. But, like, it's just better. They work better. It is better. The game is better. They listened to the community. I feel like this patch was like, oh, I get it, community, we're listening. I get it. And everything is better ever since. Like,
100%.
Thank you. Thank you.
A lot of people have been like joking about this being like the Apex patch because this patch came out, Apex kind of took off. And they are right. They did listen to the community. I was a little bit bitter that it took for this patch to happen. But little things like the zip line just make the game feel so much better. And it's not that like to me, it was that the zip lines felt inconsistent because sometimes they would pick me up when I didn't know they were going to. And so there wasn't consistency around that mechanic. I'm in control of it 100% now. So I know that when I'm falling down towards zip line, I know I can hit the key and grab it. I know when I'm running by one, I'm not going to get picked up and like repositioned in my fight unexpectedly. It's a solid change, man.
The word you just said is the key here. It's consistency, man. We need a game that we know what we're getting. Keep changing the map. Keep adding crazy skins. Keep doing wacky stuff on that department. But I need to know that the game that I'm going to play, especially for these competitive guys, they need to know that the game they're going to play is kind of the same game, at least kind of. And I think that's what they're hopefully going to get to, like, in terms of consistency of the various items, consistency of the way that those items work. Yeah. It's important, man. It just is, because that way, what you just described with turbo building, you got used to being able to play a certain way, and then all of a sudden you were still playing correctly, but it wasn't working. The game shouldn't just change that on you. Like, that's not fair to you as a player or as a competitor. And again, listen to your community. These are the people who are literally playing 12 hours a day, like every day.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of good ideas.
We do.
Not even me, but like the pros, the good guys, other than my driftboard idea. Use my driftboard idea, please.
Yeah, use the driftboard idea. Do it. All right, one of the last changes that really affects the game. The floor traps now will be automatically built on the floor piece if is needed. You no longer have to place a floor before you use a campfire, a jump pad, or a trap. They automatically build. Big quality of life change here.
Amazing. Yeah, it's really cool. It's just really cool. I don't know. Like, the first time I did it, I was like, whoa, wait. Like, it didn't even register the first time I did it, but I was like, oh, wait, what? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
It makes it a lot easier, a lot smoother. I'm not necessarily in favor of these like easy buffs for people. Like, now people can just do like quick traps underneath me in places when maybe they wouldn't be able to.
Traps underneath you are the easiest to counter though with the
all right, I'm just saying
pyramid. I mean,
I've seen some really sneaky plays because of it. I've seen one that it didn't work, but it was so close to working, where someone was able to put a trap on the ground and the pyramid on top to trap the player underneath it, like that, bro, like that, just super quick.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So,
but then that doesn't work though, because there's a pyramid on top still.
They're trapped under the pyramid. They can't move.
Yeah, but they can't. But they're not going to get killed by it.
No, it's
but they're stuck because they can't.
And then the pyramid goes over
so
there.
They're
so now
they're just literally trapped.
Yeah, Like, so there's this whole new thing.
That's so evil.
Because you can do it so fast. But here's one thing I do love. I no longer have to like run around trying to look for places my campfire might like sit on a floor. It's just easy to lay those now. I'm just like, bam, bam, done.
I was going to say, when you said I'm not a fan of these easy things, like, wait. I was like, but there, what you just described is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, it's just such a nice little... Like, think about quality of life as hard as you can, because quality of life is so important. Again, I hate to do it again, but I'm gonna bring up Apex. They thought of so many quality of life things. Go copy their quality of life things, man, because quality of life, that's what makes you want to stay in a game for hours on end.
Absolutely,
is those little quality of life things. And I want to stay, like, I used to stay in Fortnite all day long, and I still want to be able to feel that way. And I'm getting there. You guys are bringing me back, baby. I'm loving it. So
dude, I'm 100%. Yesterday, I played the game. I played the game for 2 days in a row now, where there's not a minute I want to get off Fortnite. Everything about the game feels fresh. It feels fast. I'm coming out of early game POIs with like 8 to 10 kills. If I'm dropping tilted, like, I'm just fragging out.
Good. Yeah, feels good. The whole game just feels really good again. Like, it's fun to play again. It feels fresh. It feels.
The servers feel a lot better now. Like, there are definite back-end improvements over this last like month. Epic really, I think, I hate to say save the game because I don't think it was in a place where it like needed saving, but they definitely have been listening to the community and like they gave us a big hug, man. They said, "We love you. This is Valentine's Day. Bring it on in. I'll come back, baby. It's all right." And I'm back once again.
Because for a while it was starting to feel like an abusive relationship, but
a little bit.
Or maybe this is the abusive because then they're hurting us. And now we're back and they love us. Like, maybe I'll never do that to you again. Like, I don't know.
We'll see.
It's so much better though. Thank you, Epic.
Yeah, thanks, Epic, for this. That's gonna do it for the Fortnite update. Sorry again for missing the week. We'll be back next week with episode 27 of the Fortnite update. My name's Drunky. You can find me on twitch.tv/Drunky and my co-host The Flood.
The Flood at twitch.tv/The Flood.
All right, see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.